Postmodern Art Podcast, the podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wowing the world over the platform they deserve. I am your host, Nathan Ragland, and boy, do I have a fantastic conversation with you today with a sensational guest that I know you guys are going to love. Though I must note, this conversation does have side effects of potentially becoming terminally silly, so please consult your doctor before listening to today's episode. Today's guest is milkinthemicrowave, a musician and artist of many mediums, whose sensational songs and entertaining TikToks has made them a staple in the modern internet culture. milkinthemicrowave is someone that I have been a fan of for well over a year at this point. I know I've shouted her praises on this podcast before, and you'll see why as you listen throughout. But my God, what I was expecting and the conversation that we had was incredible. Like, I did not know what to expect going into this conversation, but it was so fun and it was so energetic. And I like, judging by the length alone, you know it's gonna be a good conversation. But believe me when I say there was some stuff that we didn't get to record that was just an absolute blast just to chat with. Regardless, I know you're gonna love today's conversation. If you enjoy our guest, please make sure you support her with the links down in the description below. If you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. Leave 5 stars wherever you can. You know I see that stuff. You know it genuinely warms my heart. If you want to go a little further with that support, may I recommend you check out our merch shop on fourthwall.com. We have some incredible designs as done by some fantastic artists, such as the logo that you saw at the beginning as done by the sensational Roshan Galaxy. So if you want to rep that and other incredible designs today, check out the link in the description below to get that brand new merch today. And look, if all you want is a nice, cool, casual place where you can meet some other incredible people in this community, as well as maybe a former guest or two, then may I recommend you check out our Discord server, the Artist Sanctuary. We have accumulated an incredible group, especially as of late, and I know you would be a fantastic addition to that group today. But now, without further ado, please enjoy the Postmodern Art Podcast. I'm at least go ahead and get the things recording, because obviously I can edit this little bit out or whatnot, just so I can
What
have
are
it.
you doing, you little freak? Get over here!
Oh. Hey, we got the cat! Yes!
It's him!
I recognize that cat!
It's the booger cat!
It's the booger cat!
He's a whole 10 years old. He's old. I love him.
Goodness. I was gonna say, I don't have the cat in here right now. I have my own cat. We had a cat that was staying outside for like the longest time, but we would always obviously feed her. And then like last year, I want to say, my stepmom was able to.
Wait a moment.
Oh, you were all good. My stepmom was able to ease her into the house, because initially my dad's like, no, we're not having this cat in here. We're not having the cat in here. But then my stepmom snuck her into the house, and we just kind of have her in here ever since. And she usually likes to stay in my room. My little brother named her years ago. Her name is Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Yep.
Jeffrey is a crazy name.
It was at this phase where he named every single pet that we had Jeffrey or whatnot. So like there was a turtle that was named Jeffrey. I'm pretty sure there was like a naked.
You know that common phase that everyone has where they name everything the same?
Yeah, exactly. But like her name is Jeffrey. I call her Zaza, like just here and there or whatnot. But like, yeah, no, she's a sweet cat. 3, 2, 1.
You were right. You should be a voice actor.
Hey, I have had a good couple of opportunities. I have voiced acted in some stuff. But yeah, most notably, there was a video game that came out a couple of years ago called The Chameleon. It was this guy who I had on the podcast. It was like his first ever video game that he'd ever done, and I got to be basically like the voice of the entire video game, more or less.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's insane.
I can't track any of the stuff I did for Fiverr. I was like the prototype voice for a doll, one of those genie fortune-telling machines.
Oh, wow.
And like a bunch of different video game character voices, but they take my voice and they go off with it, and they just don't contact me. One of the only things I could find right now is top 10 games like Among Us. I got paid $40 for that script.
The pain I just felt hearing that I'm so sorry.
It was 2020. It was 2020.
You know, yeah, if there was ever a time to do top 10 games like Among Us, 2020 was the peak time for it. But anyways,
I know you like the hit game Among Us because it's 2020 and you're playing Among Us like everyone else. But if you wanted something a little different, here's top 10 games like Among Us. Give me my $40, please. Thank you.
The fact that you went to default voice actor mode, like, because I know what that's like or whatnot, that's so great. All right, let's do this, shall we? All right, did the 3, 2, 1, clap. All right, Milk, before we really do get going, I must ask the icebreaker question of the podcast, if I may. Let's say you get to go to a desert island on your own accord. It's just you, alone with your thoughts. You get to kick back, relax, breathe, get truly enjoy yourself for a little bit. With accommodations. I shouldn't say desert island, more like a personal B&B paradise away from society for a little bit.
That's way different.
Yeah, a little bit different. I probably should word these things a lot better. To make sure you don't go completely insane on this island, you can bring one piece of media or one piece of art with you to help whatever kind of headspace you want on this little personal paradise. If given this opportunity, what will that one piece be?
Oh, if it has to be one piece of media, I would want to pick something really long. So, I love the Magnus archives. I've listened to all of those episodes a million times, though. So I could listen to those over and over until I die. In terms of music, like how big a piece of media, like would it have to be one song or one album or one artist's entire discography?
I will allow it to be a artist's discography, like entire discography. I will allow that to be one of the choices. Because I've done that before.
Would I bring all of Will Wood with me? Maybe.
I mean, there's a good collection when it comes to that. Like, you say that alone. Like, there's, like, at least, like, just even, like, the mainline albums. I mean, there's 4 albums alone, and then there's obviously, like, the little side stuff, like Camp Here and There, and then, you know, little singles and whatnot.
Camp Here and There. Oh, phew. If it had to be music, I'd pick Will Wood. If it had to be a podcast, I'd pick the Magnus Archives, because long and I love it.
Right.
If it was an anime... JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is pretty long, and I haven't watched part 6 yet. And so that would be like hundreds of episodes. Or, God, I think I'd bring One Piece maybe, because that could keep me entertained for forever.
That could, especially with like at least when it comes to the animation. There's over like 1,000 episodes at this point, right? Am I right in thinking that? Or yep.
Yeah. And if I had to bring a TV show, I want to see what SpongeBob's been up to lately. I haven't had the time.
I love how you have 5 different answers for this, but I love that. Like, you're thinking on each medium.
It's one piece of media, like, and it's like any type of media. If it was a video game series, would I pick Rhythm Heaven? I would pick Project Diva.
Okay.
Because those are the Hatsune Miku rhythm games, and I could get really, really good at those, and there's a billion of those. Okay. And it's nice.
So you definitely narrowed it down to at least 6 different options. If you had to pick one of those options, what would you stick with?
Project Diva, because it's like video game and it's MVs and it's like a bunch of Vocaloid, and I could just keep practicing until I get the best I could at the extreme.
There you go.
So yeah, that is my bet. There's like 300 songs and tons of, like, I'm not very good at that game, but if I had to do only that for the rest of my life, it's got enough variety that I'd love it.
Well, it's not for the rest of your life. It's for however long you want to be on this paradise. Again, this is like, you're on here on your own accord.
That changes things! Sure, I'll spend like a year playing Project Diva. Why not?
There you go. Plus, I mean, it's Hatsune Miku. You can't get tired of Hatsune Miku.
Never in my life. Never, ever. I love her.
Which, I have to relate this as well with, obviously, the thing that you're wearing right now. Please tell me you saw the fact that U2's released the Garfield Hatsune Miku combination or whatnot.
If I could, like, if we could cut... I have a figure downstairs. I have the U2s. I could put it in front of the screen.
No,
I can hold it up.
Did you not see the new one they just like announced or whatnot?
The new one where it's like Garfield cheering. I'm already gonna buy that, but I have the original U2s. I have the plushie, and people. Oh my God! For those people tagged me for months, and they're like, "Milk, have you seen this? I bought it 2 hours after it dropped. Leave me alone."
And honestly, I want to leave this in here. I'm leaving this in here. There's no way I can't not. It's like
a month after it dropped, and they're like, Milk, I just found out about this. You're the Miku Garfield person. I got it a month ago. Thank you.
Do not tell me about the ancient texts. I was there when it was written. But regardless, back to our original icebreaker, Project Diva. That's your answer. You're locking that in.
I'm locking that in because it's got multiple different aspects, but I love Undertale and Deltarune. But I'm sticking with Project Diva.
You're sticking with Project Diva. Then if that's the case, I cannot think of a better way to start the Postmodern Art Podcast. Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Nathan Ragland. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. You will look fantastic in the merch we have at the merch shop, fourthwall.com. Link to that is in the description below. And follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and most social media platforms at Postmodern Art Pod for future updates and guest announcements, including today's guest. They are a musician and artist of many mediums whose sensational songs and entertaining TikToks has made them a staple of the modern day internet culture. Welcome to the podcast, Terminally Silly, aka Milk in the Microwave.
That was way too formal for what I put out. Their sensational songs have made them It's my ukulele. Let's be honest.
Well, it's either the ukulele or the yippee creature, okay?
Where's the piano that you can tell is a keyboard?
Look, I tried to do what I can to really hype up my guests as well, more than anything else. And let's be honest, it's not like I was downplaying just how much of impact you've really had on the internet in one form or fashion.
The sensation of your screen, the show that makes you scream. Give it up, folks.
Beautiful. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great because I've been talking with you for hours already, and it's been so fun.
Yeah, we have been talking for a good couple hours, but you know what? That just shows how much fun this conversation is bound to be for everyone else, because I just know, especially with the vibe that you gave off even before we started this chat or whatnot, I knew going into this was going to be an absolutely fun conversation, given what you've been able to put out there on the internet, just in general, both when it comes to the songs that you have, but also just how entertaining of a presence you could be. I cannot tell you how excited I am for today's episode, especially to talk about the stuff you've been able to produce and put out there and whatnot. But before we talk about the stuff you're doing nowadays, I want to go back just a little bit and learn more or less the origin story of Silly. What got you interested in art and music and such in the first place?
Well, I've been singing on stage since I was about 2 years old.
Oh, wow.
Because my family went to church, and my church loved me, and it was a pretty big church, and they were like, oh, she's 2 years old and she can hold her notes. Let's make her sing on stage in front of everyone.
Wow.
And I sang on the radio when I was 4, just as a little figgy. And I've been in talent shows and all the choirs I can possibly be in. And this ukulele here, this one that I've had for so long, I've learned it well enough that I don't even have to look at it. I've had it for 10 years. My mom spent $80 on this for my birthday once, and it has served me so well.
Oh, wow.
In terms of the piano, I got piano lessons when I was 7, but then we instantly moved to England for 5 years, and so we didn't quite continue those piano lessons. So I don't know how to read sheet music. I do it all by ear.
Oh,
I
wow.
started learning piano because I was a huge fan of Undertale and recreated Bone Droozle.
Interesting. No, seriously, just all that little bit right there. I don't even know where to begin. First off, the fact that especially at such a young age, you could hold a note as well to where people that you got on the radio. Look, even if it is local radio or whatnot, that's still on a large platform that some people never even get the opportunity to even speak upon, this is, but, and then on top of that, also moving to England as well was not on my bingo card for what I was expected to talk about in this conversation, You're a globetrotter as well, my God.
Just one place. I moved there and then I moved back, and it was fun.
It was certainly an experience more than anything else. So I'm curious.
Oh, for sure.
I'm curious if that's obviously the early life. When did it go from this love and obviously like the fun opportunities that you had here and there to a passion and wanting to make it your career? Like, when did you want to really devote yourself to the arts in one form or fashion?
Oh, I wanted to be a singer since I was 4 years old, but my parents said no.
Oh. Yeah, you know what?
So that's why it's not my career. Like, I do cyber, but like I've wanted to be a musician as a career for the past year. Like, ever since I started blowing up, I'm like, I could do this as a thing, but I'm like, no, go to your 9 to 5.
Yep.
Keep doing 9 to 5.
Yep. Keep on the clickety clacks.
In high school, I tried to write original music, but it all sounded like garbage because I really only knew Disney Channel music. Will Wood had an undescribable impact on my music, and the quality instantly jumped.
Yeah, you know what?
The moment I started listening to good music, my music got better.
You know, that honestly, that's a good place to go to as well, because one of the things I was going to bring up just with the conversation in general is the more I look at your stuff, the more I realize that the way you've been able to shape yourself is by your hyperfixations in one form or fashion. You're at least you're consistent with your hyperfixations. I'll give you that one. It's not like you like something and then you drop it immediately, you know? Obviously, I'll say, again, not immediately, at least for the ones I'm about to bring up, I'll say. Well, I mean, like, for example, you mentioned Will Wood. How did you even become aware of Will Wood in the first place?
I got into Will Wood because of the Dr. Sunshine map.
Okay.
Like, I watched that over and over and over again, and I listened to only that song for 2 years. From 2018 to 2020, I'm like, he's never made other music before. And then I saw, and I mean myself, no, it was the Memento Mori map. Yeah. And I was like, he's made other music. And I listened to it all, and I instantly fell hook, line, and sinker into hyperfixation. You say my hyperfixations don't fade, but that's not quite true. Well, I mean, it seems like I've gotten back into them.
I mean, there's peaks and valleys, but I'm saying, like, it's not like, ooh, I like this thing, and you're gone forever. Ooh, I like this thing, and you're gone forever. It's like, again, peaks and valleys.
Can I explain my hyperfixation process?
Go for it.
My hyperfixation process, I will throw myself into my favorite piece of media. So far, it's been Undertale, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Will Wood, and those are the main ones. Okay. I have thrown myself into those for like a year, and then when the moment I drop them, it instantly gets so ashamed that it was my life for a year that I drop it and I'm like, oh, I don't know about, I don't bring up JoJo's Bizarre Adventure much at the time because I'm still in my recovery era.
That's fair.
But Undertale, I didn't even think about it for years until Deltarune Chapter 2 dropped. I played Chapter 1, but I was like, no, I'm still ashamed. But then Chapter 2 dropped, and I was like instantly back into it.
It was Spamton, wasn't it?
Rude!
Am I wrong?
You're not! No!
Look,
but actually, I liked the little obscure side boss, the Swatchling, way better than Spamton when I first played it.
That's fair.
Because I was the first one to put the stuff up for the Wikipedia page the day the game dropped, and some people used the screenshots I got in their early fan art, and I was like, that's great! And then they were used for literally nothing but Rule 34, and I was like, this sucks.
Damn. Of course Rule 34 has to take a grasp on it and be like, you're mine now.
You're mine now. Like, Spamton has normal memes. Swatchlings don't really...
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's fine.
But look, I was going to say, look, there was no shame in liking Spamton, okay? I mean, to be fair, one of the biggest, like, indie animated cartoons, their lead voice actor got famous because of Spamton, all right? Alex Rochon,
He's
the voice
right
of Paige.
behind you.
Yeah, in fact, that's the voice actor's autograph right there.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't gotten to talk to him yet.
He was at MomoCon last year. So got the chance to do that and then got him on the podcast as well.
I know not Kevin Temmer, but the lead animator under him,
okay.
Zoriak. And
okay.
so friends with that guy, huge fan of that guy. But to be fair, he's more of Axie's friend than mine. I just kind of know him by association, and I've gotten to talk to him.
That's fine. I was gonna say, you mentioned Kevin Tenner. I'm like, oh yeah, I know Kevin as well. Kevin's a really cool dude. Really love that.
Yeah, but Zoriak is like the senior lead project animator right under Kevin Temmer, and he deserves so much more love.
That entire team deserves so much. Like the entire animation team deserves so much love.
He killed Gummy Goo.
How dare? Okay, no, all the love is gone. How dare he?
He's the one who animated the Gummy Goo death scene.
Wait, what? I hope your friend is proud. I hope they're proud. But okay. But I obviously like you got the hyperfixation when it comes to obviously the Undertale and Deltarune or whatnot, which again, it's extremely understandable, especially nowadays with Deltarune finally releasing more chapters or whatnot. I mean, 3 and 4, I can't tell you the amount of memes I've seen of Tenna alone. Like, good lord.
The only one that's consistently stayed for 6 years now has been Vocaloid. I joined in 2018 during the Dark Ages where we weren't really getting much, and ever since it's exploded recently, I've been nothing but happy.
Well, good. Oh no, trust me, like especially with the amount of like engineer prowess that goes into Vocaloid more than anything else. It is always like a field that I always like admire more than anything else.
I could talk about it for hours. I could give tutorials on how to use it, what to use, where to use it. Synth V is so much better than Vocaloid, but I would just yap, and this would be 8 hours long.
Well, I mean, I'll at least ask this. What is it about Vocaloid that got you interested in that in the first place?
Well, at first I thought Miku was an anime character.
Right. I think 90% of people who ever heard of Miku probably at first they probably think that before they realize what she actually is.
Even though I was the target demographic when I was 12, it missed me. I saw like virtual Justin Bieber and I was like, no thanks. And then in 2018, it's not the fact that Miku is a robot singer that makes the Vocaloid community amazing. It's the creativity and all of the actual human artists that revolve and use her tool that has been given out. It's like a keyboard, a piano, and a character all wrapped into one with thousands of different artists and thousands of different genres. If you like any genre of music, any language, there's a Miku song for you. The human creativity that goes into the MVs, the music, the production, it's so cool. Seeing so many people come together around this one character, Hatsune Miku, and be like, yeah, we're gonna make this so big.
I mean, it's absolutely insane, especially not just with Hatsune Miku, but just how much Vocaloid has grown, especially since you first got into it more than anything else.
I've been such a huge fan of the recent spike Teto has gotten, because Teto was originally the free version of Miku that, for Utao, she sounded a little bit like a car horn, but I loved her for it. And then she got a synth V, and now she sounds even better than Miku without the artists having to put nearly as much work into tuning, though they still tune her immaculately.
Oh, of course.
Seeing her go from lesser known to one of the most popular right next to her, it's like, my baby girl! My baby girl!
It's just that gif of the woman just cries we made it! We made it!
You made it!
And I feel like this is also a good way to go to another hyperfixation, because obviously, everyone loves Hatsune Miku, but, there is a big person that, a big figure that a lot of people connect with Hatsune Miku, and that's Garfield. I have to ask about all the Garfield stuff.
Great segue.
Oh, yeah.
For the people who haven't been advertised to by YouTubes, they're gonna be like, what are you talking about? What did you mean?
Well, I'll ask you at least, what do you mean? As in, what is it about Garfield that has you, focused and have that be more or less part of your branding and such?
Okay, so I have to admit, I am kind of a huge fan of some characters. I like Sanrio, I like Chikawa, and I like Miku, and I like Garfield. What do those 4 things have in common? merchandise.
Yep.
I love characters that are cute and adorable, and I don't care if it's heavily for merchandise. I like Tuxedo Sam so much because I watched the Hello Kitty anime on DVD on long car trips, and apparently that was Tara Strong's first ever voice role.
Really?
Voicing Hello Kitty in that show? Yeah. And that was I was such a huge fan of that show. Tuxedo Sam was always the male lead of every episode. And it was I love it so much. But to be fair, Tuxedo Sam himself doesn't have much character to him. Garfield, not a lot of people read the strips. Miku is different. Chikawa, great show. But they scratch me in such a right way. And Garfield hates Mondays, and I'm like, fuck, man, me too.
Yeah, no, same. And trust me, like, I vibed when it came to the Garfield stuff, because I have my own, like, personal love when it comes to Garfield and whatnot. Like, I did read some of the strips, but also, I'm going to get into a little personal anecdote for a quick second. So growing up, my mom had this cassette tape, like this VHS that she would play every single Christmas. And it was one of those, like, a Christmas a long time ago. I want to say, like, you know, probably 97, 98, somewhere around that range or whatnot, which I feel bad saying that was a long time ago, because that's almost as old as how I am. But
yeah.
But, like, a long time ago, she recorded this videotape, and she recorded, like, almost every single one of the, like, Christmas specials that were going on that year or whatnot. So, like, it starts off with, like, a Charlie Brown Christmas, but if I remember correctly, either the second or the third one was a Garfield Christmas special, which
I watched that this year. It's so good.
It's so great. I love it every single time. Like, it has so much love and charm. It's a perfect combination of, like, what you would expect from Garfield, but also what you expect from a Christmas special, because it has so much heart than you would expect, you know?
It has his iconic catchphrase in it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. In the 80s TV show, I don't know if you know, but there's this YouTuber called Lumpy Touch who animates, like, Garfield horror art in pixel form.
Right.
And it's amazing. But they made a short showcasing Garfield's strange catchphrase from the 80s show where he says, anybody who blank, blank, blank deserves to be drug out into the street and shot.
Yep. Anybody who dresses or celebrates Christmas deserves to be brought in the sheet and shot, or whatever it was.
Anyone who celebrates Christmas like that deserves to be drug out into the street and shot.
Can we just take a moment to recognize that opening musical number in the little dream sequence or whatnot did not need to go that hard, but it was so freaking good.
The 80s show was so good. I know I say merchandise, but, like, honestly, my love of Garfield came from the Garfield show 2010 of all things.
No, like, honestly, that 2010 show or whatnot, like, it was something. It had its moments more than anything else.
Yeah.
But
I am a huge fan of all these, like, highly merchandised characters that have some piece of media that I was able to latch onto in addition to them. And the reason they've become my staple is because I wear them in my videos because they just happen to be the things that had merchandise for them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I imagine that that honestly does lead as well to another good hyperfixation you have. Because in fact, that last year they had a major piece of merch that you were just all about and posted several videos about, if I do say so myself. Gravity Falls. We got to talk about that.
Oh, no, not the Gravity Falls era.
No, do not have any shame for the Gravity Falls era, okay?
That's how Jason Ritter became Moot.
And you say that like it's a bad thing?
I painted eyeshadow under my eyes to make myself look deranged in my theory video with heavy eye bags, and people thought they were real. They thought I was insane.
And you know what? That's dedication more than anything else. So what is it about Gravity Falls that also had you hyperfixated on that bad boy for a little bit?
I also missed the original run of Gravity Falls, and
That's
so
fair.
I watched it all on some website somewhere, and I binged it all in, like, 2018, 2019. Huge fan. But when the Book of Bill came out, I just happened to be one of the first people who received it in the mail, and I was like, okay, I'll make one video about this. And then the video blew up, and not only did the video blow up, but I also started looking into the book, and I'm like, this book is so good. And so I decided to make way more videos about it because I was also currently hyperfixating about the website and the book. everything. Like, it started with me getting the book really early and being like, I could be one of the first people to make a video about this. And then I find a website and I'm like, what's this website? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Being a game theory fan for years, I know so much about ARGs that I just sink my little teeth into it.
It's always cool to be kind of like that, like, on the one hand, it's like something they actually genuinely do enjoy or whatnot, kind of being like in the know or whatnot. And then on the other hand, like you said, kind of that game theory aspect of like, there is so much I could say to this, and there are so many different ways that I can look deranged but yet smart at the same time.
I was just like, I want to throw myself into this because it's the summer and I have nothing to do. Both of my friends, one of my friends was distant for university. One of my friends was distant because that's just where she was living. Now they're both back in town.
Hell yeah.
And so, living with my best friend from high school, that's moving out and it's fun. But that's also why I've been way more busy as of late. I made TikToks because I went to university and I had no friends.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
I lived at home during university because it was a local university. And so I didn't have dorm life. I didn't drink. I didn't party. And I didn't really talk much to many people. So I had online friends, but I made TikToks because I had nothing better to do.
And yet somehow they blew up to a very point, like...
And you look back at them and you're like, why did these blow up?
Well, I mean, then I'll at least ask you when it comes to this one, because I was going to ask about the TikToks as well. I love how we're just going along the path of what I want to talk about. It's almost like I've been doing this thing for a while and find a way to kind of weave it into a certain way. And
it's almost like we haven't gotten to talk about my music yet.
Oh, trust me, we'll get there. We will definitely get there. That is, trust me, I'm saving that as like the main event, like the giant fireworks show more than anything else. But I did at least want to ask, like, when it came to TikToks or whatnot, like, what is it about it that made you want to explore in the first place? And when did you kind of more or less realize, oh, wait, I'm actually, people are watching myself? What's going on? Huh?
I made my TikTok originally as voicestress, and I wanted to make voice-acted memes, and my first ever TikTok was, you might have heard it as an audio, some people heard it as an audio, to where, it was originally a Will Wood comic I had drawn and voiced, and it was about how Will Wood is as a person and then how he's perceived. So where it's like, I make music, something serious, and then the second panel was, oh, the scrunkly, double tap when you scrunkly the win, ooh. But it was 2022, so that was a big meme. And so I switched it to William Afton for my first upload, and it's like, I have killed several people. Oh, the scrunkly. Double tap the scrunkly if you win. Ooh. It got like 250K, my first ever TikTok, and it became a mildly popular sound.
I envy you, but also I can also understand how I like, part of me is like, God, I wish like my first TikToks got like thousands of views. But I can also imagine for you as someone that was just like doing this partially for fun and also like practice maybe some voice acting or whatnot here and there. That must have been scary to know that your first sound blew up like that.
Yeah, and then I switched to Tumblr's Sexy Men, so it was like a mild fan base, and then I switched to Milk in the Microwave when I started making music, because we'll talk about that name later.
Yeah.
And, it was just something that I fell into. I was just like, I like posting stuff, and so I'm gonna do it because it's fun. And I wore a mask because I wanted to preserve my identity, and because it was boisterous, my face looks really weird when I voice act. And so I didn't want to, like, autism. I didn't want to have to actively think about my face while giving a performance, and, like, I just wanted to have fun with it, so I just, like, need to worry about it anymore.
Well, yeah, as someone that has dabbled, to put it mildly, in voice acting or whatnot, like, you understand how it is, like, whenever you're trying to, like, really get in the character, it's not just changing your voice or whatnot, you really want to feel like you're kind of in the character when you're delivering that voice. So, like...
I know.
Also, like, what could really...
Voice acting was my whole thing for 2 years.
Yeah! Which I didn't even realize was partially a thing as I was doing my research or whatnot. I didn't realize that voice acting was a major thing for you. I know when we were like getting ready to actually like get started recording about it, you had mentioned that you were on Fiverr when it came to voice acting, and you did how many voice acting opportunities?
400. Though you don't have to edit it out. Like, I was gonna say, I was gonna give my story.
Go for
it. Keep it in. All right. Keep this part in. Blah, 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 blah. I was on Fiverr, and for like, I started when I was 16, and the gig blew up when I was 18 with like this $250 order of a virtual tour of the city of Sorrento, Italy. That kickstarted me to get into the algorithm because, like, wow, they got a big order. They must be pretty good. And I was doing daily orders for 2 years from the ages of 18 to 20 while also going to university and haggling with people overseas about $5, and I quit at the end because I couldn't take it anymore.
You know what?
But
yeah, valid.
That was my first major source of income, but it was 2 years, and I made $5,000 for 400 orders. It's criminally underpriced over there.
Oh, obviously.
My goodness.
I mean, there's a reason why it's called Fiverr and not, hundreder or something like that, you know?
Yeah. And I don't think I would have gotten any orders if it wasn't so low priced. But it gave me the experience I needed. Like, the money was really nice to have so early on, but it gave me more than that experience. And like, my gig was I would do any like, I advertised any American woman voice that you need.
Yeah.
Like, that was my whole gig. I was like, any American woman voice, go ahead, that's me. And they gave me everything from the highs to the lows to the storybooks to the dolls to the video game characters, everything, anything and everything.
Was there any particular voice acting in that period that you like remember like being your favorite to actually do? Like, hey, I got to actually voice something like this, or I got to voice in a project like this?
My two of my favorites that are the coolest were I was the prototype voice for a doll, and I also voiced one of those fortune teller machine things that you put like a quarter into. It's like, here's your fortune. Your fortune is this. I was the call for a bunch of like, we're sorry, but this business can't come to the phone at the moment because this business is busy. You called outside of the hours, and I did a few video games, few children's storybooks. There was one series that I got multiple orders for, and consistently, if people wanted a 10-minute YouTube video, they'd have to pay me $40 as my rate. Okay. And so anytime another one of those came in, it's like, here are the top 10 shower heads you should buy right now. Here are the top 10 fish you should own right now. And that was an easy $40, bam, in my wallet.
Hey, you know what? If it works, it works.
If it pays, it pays.
Yeah. Wow. That, I have been trying to get into voice acting myself. Maybe I should consider Fiverr. Who knows?
I got into Fiverr because of CDog VA. He used to order stuff off of Fiverr, and I'm like, I could open my own thing. I had my iPad and a gamer headset. I'm like, sure. But in 2020, I got a laptop as a graduation gift because I was going to go through cyber as a degree. And suddenly I had Audacity and a $40 Blue Snowball mic that I got that I put in a little box that was lined with foam.
Nice. Hey, at least you had the proper setup, more or less, like the bare minimum, but the proper setup.
Yeah, I sat on my bed and I hunched over and was like, I'm recording in my voice box.
So I imagine somewhere along that pipeline as well, especially since you had kind of more or less a setup, is that when you more or less started to experiment with music and potentially making that more a thing that you wanted to do?
Music, I've always been a huge fan of music, choir, blah, 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 but, really, it's just a couple nights, I got this Hello Kitty notebook from, like, Five Below, and it started doing stuff in it, but, then I suddenly got music ideas at 3 a.m. for, I don't know. I know where the ideas came from, but I don't know why it happened then.
Right.
I don't know what happened to put the ideas in my head, but it would just be a couple hours and it would be done, a finished song.
That's usually, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure some of the best ideas that ever happen sometimes comes randomly at 3 a.m. It's just some people don't have that notebook right there on their bedside or whatnot to go ahead and write down the idea so that when they wake up at like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, they can look back and be like, oh yeah, right, I had that idea, huh?
Yeah. I will say, I learned a bunch about ukulele and piano because in my house, I wasn't allowed to take my electronics to my bedroom.
Oh.
So when it was nighttime and I was in my bedroom, I had nothing else to do. So I'd learn the piano or learn the ukulele. Because if I didn't, I think I would have just watched YouTube videos and none of this would have ever happened.
You know what? Yeah, that's a valid point, mate. as someone that has a TV that's sitting right in front of him and had that growing up or whatnot, yeah, you know, you have a point. Maybe I should have focused a little.
Being put in a room where I've got nothing to do except for draw or play piano or ukulele and not having the option of watching TV or YouTube or consuming, it's the only reason I learned to create anything, because I'd much rather consume than create, unless it's like short.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So it also leaves me curious. What were some of those first songs that you more or less like crafted or whatnot? I know you mentioned the Hello Kitty little notebook or whatnot, and I'm sure we'll probably talk about that in a hot second. But do you remember some of the early songs that you may have remembered that you love so fondly?
My early music from like high school, I'm gonna be honest, there's like no trace of it. I don't think. I know I've written some. I know I made I made an Undertale parodies of songs that I never posted. Like I made a Sans Genocide parody of Wolf in Sheep's Clothing.
Okay.
And I was like, this is so freaking cool. And I never recorded it. I never posted it. I don't have the lyrics anymore. But I started getting into nerdcore and stuff.
Okay.
Now I know the nerdcore community and nerdcore artists like Oreo, Living Tombstone, DJ Smell? Oh, gosh! DJ Smell is the guy who made the Sans Stronger Than You thing, and during its peak, I was in the comments section, like, fighting and saying, Steven Universe did not steal this from Undertale! You guys, blah, 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 it says parody in the title! But, like, we had to do an essay on the Odyssey for high school, and we had to pick songs that we liked to relate to different parts of the Odyssey, and if one of those songs wasn't DJ Smell's parody of Megalovania specifically, like his lyric video for that, and I mentioned it in his comment section once, and he followed me back and he's like, I want to see the essay. And I'm like,
oh
no,
my God. I want to see the essay. It has to be real.
No, you don't want to see the essay. It's bad.
I want to see the essay at this point. Like, I'm curious. Leave me alone.
He gets to see it, and he alone.
Just like, leave me alone. Akira.
That's me in the stupid Sans videos I recorded a year ago. I can't escape those. It sucks.
Hey, you know what? When you have an idea, especially on today's internet, like, sometimes you gotta put it out there, no matter how weird or how cringe it is, alright? Like, I can't tell you the amount of times that I have posted stuff on, like... I remember whenever I had Vine back in the day, because I was in college.
Oh, I was never on Vine.
I was in college at the tail end of Vine, like, right whenever it was about to shut down, like, 2016 or whatever it was. And... I remember, like, posting, like, the videos I posted on there were not funny at all. It was just like...
Oh, so like Vine.
Yeah, so exactly like Vine.
I didn't think that would work.
Credit on you for that one. You know what? That's probably going to be the teaser that I put up on all the socials right there.
The videos I made were not funny at all. Oh, like mine? Yeah.
No, but Well, I was gonna, it would just be like a set of like me and my dorm room being like, oh, you know, I'm just enjoying a nice quiet day, or you know, I'm ready for a big giant productive day or whatnot, and then like it turned to my room and be like, and I'm just yelling for some reason or whatnot, like, too bad there's nothing to do. Holy shit! like stupid stuff like that. Like I look back thinking about that stuff. I'm glad I don't have access to my Vine account because it was cringe. It was cringe.
If we're talking about unfunny videos, I never posted any of them, but I have an extensive catalog of those. My goodness.
Oh no.
Me and iMovie were like this. Ooh.
iMovie. Oh my god. How dare you speak of the forbidden arts?
I have so many unfunny videos I've made, and it took me a lot of time and learning to listen to stand-up comedy. I have autism. I had to study like a nerd to be able to talk to people. So I studied comedy like it was a test. Like, I watched funny creators and I listened to stand-up comedy. I was just like, I'll do that. And eventually they've all homogenized into me.
See, I would laugh about studying like comedy like it's a test, but I also listen to a podcast called Good Ones, a podcast about jokes, where the guy basically brings on comedians and have them talk about their jokes like you're studying for an exam or whatnot. So I get that mentality. I get that to the fullest or whatnot. Though I will say, though, like, it's really cool, obviously, hearing, wow, I had the words and then I lost them. Where did they go? Come back here. Where'd you go?
It's because you're talking to me. Sorry. I have that effect on people.
No. Believe it or not, I have that with a lot of my guests. There are several times where you can go back to episodes and you can see where I just freeze up. I'm like, like a deer in a headlight, like, what's going on? But no, like it's really cool to hear that, like, even as cringe as they are, you had that nice little fun creativity and going on with the stuff that you want to create or whatnot, and eventually
I've always been creative.
Yeah, you've always been creative.
Always.
And now you have an opportunity to really showcase that creativity. You kind of did a little bit with some of those early TikToks or whatnot, but especially once you got the chance to post some of your music as well as Milk in the Microwave, which we gotta address the name. How did you come up with the name Milk in the Microwave?
Out of a fit of rage, dear. Out of a fit of rage.
Please elaborate.
My Discord username was Moodster, and I'm like, that would be really cool as an artist name. And I had to upload boogercore because it was the first ever thing I made in FL Studio, and I showed it to my brother, and I'm like, hey, look at this test project. And he listened to it, and he's like, you have to upload this. And I'm like, really? It's a test project. It's bad. It's supposed to be bad. He's like, no, you have to upload this. And I'm like, okay. So I called it boogercore because I was in a random music Discord server and I was talking to someone and I'm like, I made this song. What should I call it? And he's like, sounds like boogercore. And that was the name. So I'm like, I have to upload boogercore. Let me make my artist name Moodster. Taken. So I cycled through a bunch of really creative names. I was sitting in pre-calc at like my university. I wasn't paying attention. I had already taken high school pre-calc the year before. And so I was just in my class, like, furiously trying to come up with my Spotify name. Like, interesting name. Gone. 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 I stumble on one that's not gone. Milk in the Microwave. And I'm like, finally! Thank goodness this one's available. No one's taken it yet. I wonder why. My whole point was to try and come up with a fun and quirky username so that if you were to find me, if you were to put it in a hashtag on social media, you'd only find me. Something like Schlatt or PewDiePie or Markiplier or something like that. But Milk in the Microwave is what I came up with. I hesitated for about 2 seconds before being like, do I really want to make this my name forever? Yes! Boom! And I'm like, sealed my fate. That's going to be my name forever. And I uploaded boogercore. About 6 hours after I had done it, I looked up Milk in the Microwave, and it was thousands of articles on how to heat up your infant newborn's breast milk in the microwave. And I'm like, I forgot that babies exist. No! No, they're never gonna find me. But then I became popular enough that I'm the top result on Google now, so it worked in the end.
Well, I mean, we could certainly, I mean, especially once you got the chance to really embrace that name, which I imagine if you had hesitated for just one more second, we could be talking to a completely different person, at least name-wise.
True.
Why not?
True.
But regardless, you have Milk in the Microwave, which is, it's just a fun name to say. Like, even if it's weird or quirky, I just love saying Milk in the Microwave. It rolls off the tongue for some reason, and I don't know why.
It does roll off the tongue, but I picked it because I had never I'm like, I like microwaves. I want to put something funny in the microwave, and I'm like, milk! Nobody puts milk in the microwave! Everybody does but me!
Look, I wouldn't say everyone, but also, like, I occasionally do it for hot cocoa. But that's a different discussion. It's regular milk, by the way, because I know we mentioned the... Anyways, I feel like I need to clarify that because this is the internet, and I don't want people taking things the wrong way. Anyways, but it's really good to know that, like, despite all that, you did get the opportunity to really... people recognize that name as an artist and not something that they just randomly do. And I think it certainly helps with a certain album and a very certain song. But let's talk about the album first. One of the albums that you talked about, ironically, brings up something that you had mentioned previously, which is Hello Kitty Scrapbook. I feel like I kind of already know the answer because you kind of mentioned it. But how exactly did Hello Kitty Scrapbook come to be?
All right, so I had my Hello Kitty notebook, and I wrote some songs in it at like 3 a.m., and I had them all compiled in a thing, and I posted one song, and people are like, we like this song, and it got popular, and I'm like, I have a bunch of these I've written into a Hello Kitty notebook, and I played more, and they're like, we love the Hello Kitty notebook, oh my goodness, and I'm like, wow, people like my music. I didn't expect this because remember, I was bad at writing music in high school, so I thought I was still bad at writing music. And I have my own opinions about my music.
Right.
It's not something I would personally listen to, but I like that other people like it so much. And some of my songs I would, some of my songs I wouldn't.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, look, I'll say, because I relate to that as well when it comes to, like, for example, the podcast. Like, I go back and listen to episodes, like, all the time or whatnot, because I love some of the conversations. And there's some that I just listen to a little less. Not because I hated the guests or not because, I don't think it's worth my time. It's just there are other conversations that I just enjoy more, and I want to go back and listen to them and have that fun, like, the fun memories of us chatting once again or whatnot. And, like...
all of my TikToks, I made them because I wanted to make them. They were about stuff I enjoyed, and I went back and I would watch those a million times over and over again, and people are like, why'd you make this? I'm like, cause I've watched it like 100, 1,000 times yet now. It hadn't existed yet, and so I made it.
Exactly. That's the mentality a lot of artists should have. That's why this podcast exists. I wanted to see people talk to cool artists such as yourself. No one else is doing it. Fuck it, I got it. And now here we are having this conversation talking about how a Hello Kitty scrapbook somehow blew up to the point to where you're able to do more incredible songs. And it certainly helps with one particular song that I certainly hold near and dear for me or whatnot. Hey, Doctor, Doctor.
Yeah.
Now tell me what's wrong, all right? No.
I'll tell you what's wrong. What's wrong is that song is 1 minute and 6 seconds long. That's what's wrong.
It's such an easy listen, but, like, the thing is, I love the song so much, but especially if you take the time to listen to the lyrics and whatnot, it's such a sad song. I don't know why it's such an earworm.
Well, I'll tell you another thing that's wrong. I called it Hello Kitty Scrapbook because I wanted to call it Hello Kitty Notebook, but it wasn't done yet. But lots of people on the internet were like, please put this on Spotify. Please, I'll die if you don't. And I'm like,
no, Jesus.
Here you go. And Hello Kitty, Hey Doctor Doctor is one of the only ones I actually went into Audacity and I recorded. It is one main vocal track, 3 harmonies, and 1 ukulele line, and I recorded it in Audacity, and that's it. I had it done within like a couple hours, but a lot of people liked it because It's Okay Koi animated it, and I was like, this is such a good animation. That animation blew up. My song blew up. It was like having my own animated music video I didn't pay for.
Yeah. which is so weird. Like when someone likes a song so much that they go out of their way to animate it on their own.
It's so crazy that a fan animation is the only reason that song blew up the way it did, because it existed for months beforehand.
Right.
But when that animation dropped, the song went boom. I can show you the chart going from
Look, I can only imagine. I mean, to be fair, that animation was what got me onto that song and onto your music as a whole in the first place. Like,
just like the map of Dr. Sunshine let me know that Will Wood existed. Animation and music go hand in hand. I love animation so much.
Yes.
I know all the concepts, I know the fundamentals, but I was never patient enough to be an animator. Not in any way.
Okay, first, like, I agree, same thing, like that, yeah, solidarity more than anything else, because, like, I'm literally the same mentality, I'm literally the same mindset. That's why I talk to so many animators on here, because I love and respect the process so much.
So cool.
But, like,
so cool.
I also know if I was trying to put myself in that headspace and try to work on even a single frame of animation, I would go crazy. Like, I would go stir crazy more than anything else.
I have a few projects I've animated 2D. I have some stuff I've animated 3D, but it's all really basic. And I'm a huge fan of MMD just because you can use motions that already exist.
Yeah, exactly. But like, so that I imagine, like, especially that love for animation, to see again someone else that you had no idea who I don't know if you even knew who It's Okay Koi was beforehand. Like they enjoyed your song so much that they went in and. First off, they not only just animated like a beautiful concept and like of their interpretation of what the song is about more than anything
video
else.
I would have never come up with the transition to like the clouds on the umbrella and the umbrella spinning so that a beep 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 beep.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they've animated AJR songs.
Yes.
And Axie loves AJR, but me, I was never a huge fan, but I love every single AJR song that Koi has animated, just because their ideas are they're so good at making music videos. So good.
Have you seen the newest one that they posted? The one about was it the doodles or whatnot?
Yes.
Oh my god.
The one where it's like doodles I'd undo.
Yes, doodles I'd undo. My god, like they're another dream guest I want to have on this podcast. Like, okay, Koi, if you're listening to this, and I know that you are,
I could reach out. I could reach out.
Okay, duly noted. I will definitely keep that in my back pocket at a certain point. No, but like it has to be so weird for you to know that like that song led to like a major blow up for
everything.
Like, yeah, everything. Yeah, to put it point blank. It must be so weird to realize, like, especially like I said, a fan made music video that you had no idea was even happening led to so many people coming to your music and really loving and appreciating it, especially for one that you didn't even think was gonna do that kind of stuff.
What's even crazier than the popularity is the money. I totaled my car in April, and that song paid for my new one.
Oh my God.
Used every cent I made from that song specifically to pay for a new one, and I was just able to do that because of like how much support I had gotten on it. I had like almost 10 million streams on Spotify, and that translated to I can buy a Toyota Corolla now. Wow.
Wow. In that case, I want to go on the record in saying that I believe I helped pay for 0.1% of your car, because I listened to that song at least 200 times in like 2024. All right.
Every time I look at that AC button, I'll think about you.
Thank you. That means the world to me. It lets me know that I'm cool.
Yeah. Most musicians buy cars because they want to have luxury ones. I buy them because I totaled mine.
I buy mine because I need to go to work.
I was diagnosed with like slow processing speed, so I wouldn't normally drive, but I'm usually a safe driver. I'm trying to say this to say I'm not a reckless driver. I am a safe driver, but it's when I have to make those split-second, last-moment, life-changing decisions that my brain doesn't catch up fast enough, and done.
And even then, like anyone could say accidents happen. It just happens.
Accidents happen, but it wasn't because I was being reckless.
Right.
It's because something happened in front of me, and I couldn't like it. if I were like my mother or my friend, like I would have been fine. But since it was me and my brain slow, what can you do, you know?
Exactly. But the fact, even
The fact that Hey Doctor Doctor existed and meant that I didn't have to suffer any long lasting financial ramifications from such a long lasting thing. I broke my toe. Like, I broke
Ooh.
my big toe, fractured it, but it was like a tiny little split in the middle, so it just hurt for 6 weeks. I had to wear a splint. But the fact that I'm not suffering that much in that way since then is such a blessing, such a miracle,
Yeah.
that I at 22 can just walk that off a little painfully, but I can walk it off.
Yeah, you can look. I'm 29 years old, and I wish I had the financial security to walk something like that off like carefully. Like I'm struggling, sister. Okay, like and like the fact that a song that a lot of people love and appreciate and connect with on a level that you probably never even thought about whenever you put it out there or whatnot helps you in that kind of way. Like it goes back to what I was trying to say. Like, it has to be so surreal to think how much people like gravitate to your music in one form or fashion.
Every single person who listened to that song just because they like it, because some person fan animated at some point, and they're like, wow, I like this song. Every single person who gave me a stream directly contributed to the fact that I'm okay right now.
And I will say, it's not just sorry, for me personally, it's like I said, it's not just that song. That entire album that you put out there, and whatnot. I love so many of the songs on there. I personally, aside from Dr. Doctor, like everyone's left, both versions of that song, I cannot get enough of that song. It is so great. Like, it's so like emotional and it's such a short amount of time, but also like it's really great.
Yeah. That's during my early 2024, late 2023. For a while, I ghosted all of the, like, not ghosted. Let's rephrase this. Cut, let's rephrase. Early 2024, 2023, I kind of became a recluse, a hermit of sorts, and just did not feel up to communicating as much with people online or my friends. I just kind of kept to myself, and I posted TikToks, and that was it. And so everyone's left is about how they all sent me DMs, like hundreds of DMs from like hundreds of people, and I just did not look at Discord, did not pay attention to it, did not, like, I just, the last little bit of university was not fun. Not fun.
No. I can only imagine. Look, again, I also went through the university experience. There's a reason why I didn't get my degree yet, because I was struggling the last couple of semesters I was going there or whatnot.
I graduated magna cum laude. It would have been summa cum laude, but the last year did a number on me.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But I was a really good student, and I don't know, one of the first TikToks of mine that really blew up was my elaborate study guides. They, on these tiny, tiny little lines, I'd have teachers who would be like, you can bring 2 pieces of paper into this test. And so I would cut them up into tiny, tiny little lines, spend 10, 20 hours before an exam writing tiny little words with like colored pen marking the beginning of each sentence so that I could key into it at the beginning of every exam. I am the gifted kid who was not allowed to be burnt out.
I get
My dad was valedictorian. My mother would have been top of her class if I hadn't come along. And I went into cyber. I did really good at school because I had to. And I got nothing but support from my family. Like, I would not have made it without them, but I also had no choice. I had to.
I hearing this stuff now, I can understand why it's kind of hard for you to go back and listen to some of those songs that people just absolutely love or whatnot, because they're very reflective of a time that you probably want to just move on from, because there was a really rough time and you were dealing with a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, it's not hard for that reason. It's hard because I recorded it on my iPhone.
Oh, okay. trying to be sympathetic and stuff.
I know, but if we're being real, it's ukulele on my iPhone. That's why I like stuff that's fast and not like ding ding ding, not my type.
Well, I mean, that certainly explains some of the other songs you've been able to put out there, such as boogercore or boogertale, or like the album Count Your Stars.
I like listening to those.
Yeah.
Count Your Stars was a visual novel that my friend never ended up putting out, but I just made music for it one day because they asked if I would do the soundtrack, and I said sure.
I did want to say, when it comes to that album Count Your Stars or whatnot, can I just say the song that I appreciate the most is the one called Bootleg Sneaky Snitch, because I am a person on the because I am a person on the internet that has been on the internet long enough to know what Sneaky Snitch is. So hearing Bootleg Sneaky Snitch, I'm like, okay, I get the joke. Like I said, I appreciate that one the most.
Everybody loves Sneaky Snitch. It's just nobody cares about that one.
Like I said, like that's the thing. It's like I saw the title and I heard it. I'm like, I get what you're coming from. I get it. Like that's the one. Like I said, I appreciated that one the most because I got the reference. They
asked me, "Can you make a song like Sneaky Snitch?" And I said, "Okay." And I did.
Is it weird for you to think that, like, especially when you're looking at your music or whatnot, you have this weird dichotomy of like stuff that you've released? Like on the one hand, you have like the fast-paced, weird, like, you know, again, boogercore, boogertale, and then the other half of it is the sad ukulele music. Is it weird to think you have that dichotomy?
Some people ask me what genre of music I make when I say I make music, and I stare at them. I'm like, well, it depends. And they're like, what do you mean it depends? And I'm like, see, if you want to listen to my voice, I make sad ukulele piano music. But if you want to listen to not my voice, have you ever heard of meme music? Like, have you, like, legalized nuclear bombs fart sound effect?
Legalized nuclear bombs. I see. I see you're taking more than one page out of the Will Wood book. I see. I'm just having a bunch of music and not really, like. I
will say,
putting down what exactly genre you are.
For as much as he worked on the album, In Case I Make It, it sucks that one of my favorite songs is Big Fat Bitchy's Blueberry Porium.
Yes, I have a clip in my trailer for the podcast, like my little intro being like, what can you expect from the Postmodern Art Podcast? One of the clips I have for Will Wood is him just naming the title of that song, just going through it. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's like beep 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 beep, and I'm like, yes king, yes king.
I was gonna say, like, as much as that album is, again, my favorite song is probably one of the more upbeat ones, which is like, you know, Main Character or On the Kitchen Floor or whatnot. Especially when you compare like the early ones of like, you know, Tomcat Disposables and, you know, Being the Last Names or whatnot. Like, think about how that album is, and then like the favorite songs on there is the ones that people just love to dance along, or like, you know, hey, it's a fun little beat. Da, 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 da.
Against the kitchen floor, apologizing for my life and never entering
yours. See, I'm sorry, but I can't go on.
Crap. If I could find, I have a pin that I got from U2's. They released like a pin of John Arbuckle in his brown suit dancing.
Yes.
Only reason I got it is because some fan made a.
They made a YouTube of using that song with John doing the dancing against, to that.
Like, they released John Arbuckle dancing to Against the Kitchen Floor in that scene. That's the only reason I own that pin.
No, that's valid. That's valid. I was also going to say, like, look, you're talking to a very, very big Will Wood fan more than anything else. I got the CD, I got the vinyl over there. Like, I'm
going to be right back. I'm going to be right back because I'll show you what he signed.
Oh, go on. Please do.
Because I got him to sign the coolest thing.
Go on. Please do. Audience, I have no idea what they're going to be bringing back, but I am so intrigued and so interested. This is going to be fun.
I found it!
You found it! What'd he sign?
He signed this. You want to know what this is?
Is that a musical stand?
It's the stand for my keyboard.
Oh my god!
The stand, like, I I signed up for his VIP for his 2022 show, and I'm like, people are like, he's gonna sign something. Hours before I was going, I'm like, he's gonna sign something. What do I bring? What do I bring? And I start like panicking and looking around my room, and I look at my keyboard and I pause. I'm like, I think I could fit that stand in my bag. So I brought the stand, and I was like, can you sign this? And every single Hello Kitty scrapbook song that you hear on the piano, I was playing in front of this.
So what you're saying is you could put Will Wood as a producer on that album if you really wanted to.
I could put Will Wood as a producer for my entire page because, his impact on my music, I hate to sound insane, I was part of his Patreon, and in his Patreon Discord server, that was my favorite server for over a year. One time I was like, I realized it was really easy to draw oh my gosh, I just realized. The reason I'm so into Garfield is because one day I was drawing, and I realized he was really easy to draw.
Yeah, that's fair. That's valid.
I went into the Discord server. It's like, I realized Garfield's really easy to draw, guys. Do you guys want to try drawing him? And it's like, yeah! And they all started drawing him, and some moderator changed the name to Lasagna Chat, and they're like, oh, we gotta change that before he comes back! It's like, who did that? Who did that? None of us knew the moderators. None of us were like, who did that?
Oh, that's so... I've heard so many stories about the Will Wood community in one form or fashion or whatnot. So... a little bit of the behind the baseball when it came to me. I had never heard of Will Wood before I had brought him on for the first time, which was like 2021, more or less.
Wow.
Yeah. But the thing is, so the reason why I even knew about him is because my co-showrunner, TipsyJHearts, who is a fantastic person, also goes by Jelly Doll sometimes. She wanted to get him on the podcast so badly because she used Memento Mori at the end of an animation that she made. As the end credit song. But she wanted to get him on the podcast so badly. I'm like, all right, I'll reach out to him, see what happens. Sent him an email, and he responded right back. And this was before he was with his current PR team, Behind the Curtain Media. So this was like him doing his own stuff. So I emailed him. He emailed me back, and he's like, yeah, sure, I'd love to hop on the podcast. I'm like, oh, well, I better start listening to his stuff.
That was when I was in the middle of my brain rot, so I would have known everything. And because I was not I think I would have made him uncomfortable or somehow. I don't know. I've grown as a human being. Yeah. I was 19 years old, but I've always been a little bit behind socially.
Yeah. Look, I think I can say a lot of us probably have that one moment when we're 19 and we're kind of we could have been better. We could have been better.
Maybe I could have been a little bit less parasocial, but I never deluded myself that he was my friend.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's such a weird place to be. I was always respectful. I always tried to be. But looking back, I was like, even though I tried to be respectful, it still would have been terrifying. It still was terrifying.
I mean, I imagine especially nowadays, looking back, but especially nowadays, seeing how some people may have also that same kind of parasocial relationship with you or whatnot, with how your music is and such.
Maybe a couple people come to mind.
I mean, regardless, again, just kind of Will Wood had that impact on you, thinking about the fact of how much of an impact you've been able to have on an audience in one form or fashion, whether it be, again, the really, the weird dichotomy of music or the really entertaining TikToks that you've been able to put out there or whatnot. Again, it's got to be so weird to think about how much of a community you've been able to grow around, to put it bluntly.
Him and I kind of share a really similar fan base, which is crazy. Because we were at the Will Wood concert, first concert I've ever been to, where I knew every single word. And you came up to me and you said, "Hey, Doctor was my #1 on Spotify Wrapped last year."
Yes.
And I looked at you, and in my head, you don't know this, but in my head I said, "You are not a neurodivergent teenager."
Look, you're right. I will give you that one. You are right.
I was like, #1? Wow. I was like, I was so pleasantly surprised because I was like, I didn't expect, like, I thought I was just contained within that niche.
Yeah.
To know it goes elsewhere and
You-
outward to people that I wouldn't expect
Yeah.
is so nice.
You didn't expect a grown-ass man to come up to you and just simply be like, hey, your song was number one on my Spotify last year.
You think that, but you were like placed right in front of me the whole show. You were hyping up the whole crowd,
Yes.
and I had seen your positive energy the whole show. So you weren't just some random grown man. You were like the really nice guy that I wanted to talk to the whole time.
Oh, that's so sweet. Like, genuinely,
Yeah.
that warms my heart. Because, like, don't get me wrong, it's like I just thought I was just a random person just getting along with the weird festivities of the Will Wood concert. Because, like, let's be honest, especially at that concert, there was such a fun vibe going on, and like everyone was just interacting with everyone in some form or fashion, and it was a good. I'm already missing like the feeling that I had. It was a fun feeling, and it makes me excited for the next opportunity Will Wood does have to tour, because I want to be in that crowd again. That kind of crowd
I went
again.
to that concert on my own, but I didn't worry about whether I'd have fun or not because I knew I keep stickers on me so I can make friends, especially with that type of crowd. So I knew I would make friends at that concert no matter what. Yeah. I'm short, so my number one battle was, will I be able to see anything at this concert? And so what happened was I found myself in like on the balcony in like the frontmost, most center place you could possibly be as a non-VIP because I saw a group of like 3 people who were like over 6 foot in front and center. And I was like, hey, so sorry to bother you. I'm kind of short. Love your vibes so much. If we traded places, would you be able to see? And they were like, well, yes, but we don't want to trade places, but we totally understand. What if we shifted over a little? And I was like, yes, okay.
Perfect.
And I gave them stickers, and they're like, this is so cool. Is this Sans Undertale? And I'm like, yes.
Wait, how come I didn't get the Sans Undertale sticker?
You were over there. You were all the way over there.
Yeah,
and
fair.
I'd given it out already.
That's fair. That's fair. That's understandable.
So I gave stickers to the people next to me, stickers to the people on that side of me, stickers to the people behind me to say sorry for being in front of you, and yeah.
And then
the people directly behind me were like, oh, the people were like 6 foot in front of us beforehand, so 5'2" is better.
There you go.
Like, yeah.
I felt kind of bad because I saw someone in the comments of one of the videos of the podcast or whatnot after that concert happened. They went to the comments of a random video, not even like one of the Will Wood ones or whatnot, just like the most recent episode is like, yeah, no, I saw you at the Will Wood concert. It was really irritating when you weren't leaning out in front of the railing. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm having a good time, man.
I had such a good time. I would crouch down between songs so the people behind me could see at least the between parts where he's like walking around on stage, arguably where the visuals mean the most, because the rest of it you can just feel the music, but I was able to see a little bit between the railings.
Right. I mean, again, that whole entire concert was a vibe. We could have a whole entire like side conversations about like
the Black Box Warrior performance was so good. That's my favorite. I love Black Box Warrior. It's so good.
It was so great, like especially whenever he had like the telephone as well, like to get the little like modulated voice and whatnot. Like it was so perfect. Oh, that was hands down like my favorite performance of the entire night. Like the entire show was great, but like that performance in particular was just, I had a new like I already loved Black Box Warrior, but I had a new love and appreciation with how that one played out, especially the audience interaction to go with it.
I knew I was gonna spend this whole thing geeking out about him. No, my one goal was to not make myself look insane.
Hey, okay, time out. First off, you're on a podcast with me, all right? We were already insane well before we got into this episode.
I know.
But secondly, you didn't spend the whole entire time talking about Will Wood. Again, we talked a lot about, again, the incredible music you've been able to produce and like the incredible community you've been able to develop or whatnot. It does leave me curious as well because, well, I mean, seeing the fun you've been able to have with like the TikToks and the music in one form or fashion or whatnot, I imagine that's not really slowing down too much. Obviously, IRL stuff might slow it down a little bit, but it's not like, it's not like you've completely abandoned it entirely. Like, you're still gonna be making music at some form or fashion. So I'm curious for those that.
Oh, I know.
So I'm curious for those that might be curious on their own. What should we expect from Milk in the Microwave in the future?
The World's Greatest Actor and Hey Doctor Doctor Extended.
Oh.
Those have been in progress for a year, and I have sworn that I was going to make them, and I've gotten no progress on them, except for I have all of Hey Doctor Doctor Extended. I have to work with Oreo on it. I just physically have no time in my life right now. Fans might realize that this wall is not blue, and it does not have a bunch of little stuff on it. It's because I moved. I mentioned it before, but I moved. I'm moving. I broke my toe in, April and had to deal with so much car stuff. I have a job. It's been a hectic little bit of time here. But, yeah, I have stuff, and at the end of this episode or whenever, I would love to play the extended version of Hey Doctor Doctor just for this episode.
Okay.
Just to have a little thing that people can bite onto so that it'll, flock them here.
I'll tell you what, we'll definitely save that for the end of the episode because I think people would actually love and appreciate that more than anything else. It does leave me also curious as well because obviously, obviously we know what everyone else loves when it comes to your stuff. We have people love the Hey Doctor Doctor. That's why we want to save the extended version for the end because we know people are going to love and hear that. But what are your personal favorites of the stuff you've been able to put out there? Both when it comes to the music you've been able to produce as well as I imagine you had to have a fun TikTok that's just been your absolute favorite that you've been able to push out there.
Yeah, okay. So in terms of my favorite song, of the stuff that I haven't gotten to release yet that will be in the future, everybody's like, I want Hey Doctor Doctor Extended. I want World's Greatest Actor Extended. I love My Own Worst Enemy.
Yes.
I like that one a lot. And not as many people talk about it. I have heard it talked about all of twice to me, but I like that one.
Yeah.
It's nice. I'm excited for it to release. I like I'm my Joker, Lex Luthor, my Emperor Palpatine.
Yes.
I got to put in some references, basic references, but references nonetheless.
Yeah, references nonetheless. Plus, I gotta say, I know on SoundCloud, I love how you basically had the little, yippee creature being, basically Joker-coded more than anything else.
Yeah. All of my album art, I do really like the cover. As much as Hello Kitty Scrapbook is not something I wanted to release in its current state, though I am glad that it's out there because I'm glad that people like it so much. Mm-hmm. I love the album cover for it, and I love it way more than what I was going to originally do, which was going to be brown autism creature on a Google photo of the Hello Kitty notebook, but it got taken down for copyright reasons, so I had to make something creative. And so I put it in front of my plushie pile and put some small little plushies around it and then took a picture, and I'm like, wow, that's really good.
Yeah. What is your obsession with the autism creature, by the way? Because I noticed how that's a major thing for a lot of your album covers and stuff.
I want you to take a guess.
You have autism?
Bingo.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
I thought it was a cute creature, and for my music, I thought it would people who already know what that creature is, I thought, if they like the autism creature, there's a shot they might like my music. So if I made it my mascot, maybe it would bring the right people's attention to it.
Yeah. I mean, in a way it kind of worked because I guess that's how your music blew up well after Hey Doctor Doctor came out, so.
Yeah, I wanted people to see that and be like, I know that character. What song is this? And then maybe they'd like it, maybe they wouldn't. But No Good at Being You is definitely, it could be interpreted as a song about anything, but the way I wrote it when I first wrote it, it's about autism. It's about autism. It's general fish out of water, but for me, it's about autism.
Right. Yeah, no, I now that you say that out loud, the fish out of water one is definitely why I interpret it, but especially now that you say the autism aspect, I understand. I get where you're coming from.
Like, it and The World's Greatest Actor. I love doing little metaphors of like putting on a mask to blend in, or like playing out your role in society without like, actually knowing what you're doing. And everyone apparently feels like that. Just like Garfield hates Mondays and everyone on the planet is like, me too, I also hate Mondays. I pretend that is a special little thing about me when in reality everybody hates it too.
I mean, because we all know what Monday signifies in one form or fashion, unfortunately.
And every neurotypical and neurodivergent adult in different fashions knows that none of us really know what adulting is.
No.
And none of us really know what it means to be an adult. As a kid, you're like, oh, they have so much knowledge. But when you get to be an adult, you realize that everyone's just kind of winging it. Some are doing it better than others.
I cannot tell you how much I perfectly related to that in one form or fashion. Maybe I'm a little bit more neurodivergent than I anticipated. Huh.
Or maybe everyone just feels like they're playing out a role that they've seen somewhere before and yet never really understood. They're just trying the best they can every day.
That's I mean, for a lot of us, that's all we can do. Just trying our best every single day, no matter what the world wants to give us in one form or fashion, because it's not fucking easy, one form or fashion.
My song, it's just like, I'm sorry, I'm no good at being you.
Wah, 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 wah.
I it's just, I wanted to write a song about how I've kind of, again, I rehearsed comedy to be funny. I rehearsed like how to talk to people, to interact, just because, not to manipulate people, but because I want to have friends.
Right.
I didn't have any friends in elementary school, and in 6th grade I had a whole record of 2 whole friends. I had consistently one friend in elementary school who would come and go, and like I'd get one person I would latch onto.
Yep.
Had 2 people 7th grade. No, 6th grade. 7th grade, I went to a school dance completely new. I had just moved back from England, and I didn't have any friends yet, and so I was on my own, and I had only ever learned that you're allowed to make friends with people who don't already have friends. And so everybody was dancing in different friend groups, and I was like, they're all taken. I see. And there was this one girl who was walking across the dance floor, and her hair was kind of cut short, and she was wearing like a t-shirt, and I was like, she looks like my type of people. And so I walked up to her and I said hi, and then we said hi, we met on the dance floor, and then she took me to where she was going to get snacks originally. That's where she was walking to, and she took me to her friend group, and I was so dejected. I was like, oh, she's already taken. Well, I guess I'll go keep looking. And they all like reached a hand out to me and invited me in, and that was my first ever time having a group of friends, and it felt nice. I like talking to people so much. I am a little bit of an introvert somewhat as the years have gone by, and some things have happened and some things haven't. But at my core, I'm a very, very people person. And so I like going out and talking to people.
Yeah. I cannot tell you how much I like relate with the mentality and the sentiment or whatnot. I mean, for God's sakes, there's a reason why. Part of the reason why I host the podcast is so I could just talk to people, because people are cool. People are really cool, or a lot of people. There are some people that we could avoid talking to, but there's a lot of people out there are really cool, and it's fun to chat with.
My favorite thing, if I'm able to make someone laugh, I know I succeeded.
Yes.
Like, I love making people laugh.
Again, I cannot tell you how much I relate. We're just on like this weird like mind, like hive mind thing going on. I swear to God. Oh goodness. No, I mean that again. I can't tell you how much I relate to you when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I can easily see how, again, given a space like what you've been able to earn, especially more than anything else, with how much you've been able to put out there and how much people love and appreciate and latch on to you when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, I can easily see how this aspect, like this little creative venture or whatnot, is very, in one form or fashion, it can be very satisfying for you because it's kind of what you want. You want an opportunity to make people like feel that connection and like have people, whether it be feeling emotional with the sad ukulele music or laughing at the random TikTok about how you've been on the I'm trying to think, was it the Gravity Falls website for like 500 hours or whatever it is. You know, like something ridiculous like that. Like having that connection with people it makes this field like all worth it more than anything else for you.
Yeah, it's had like ups and it's had downs, like the whole banning situation in April of last year. But like in general, it's been nothing but a good thing, and I have enjoyed it so much to have this opportunity. I just got really, really lucky.
Yeah.
There, like, a lot of people in this world know how to play ukulele on my level. A lot of people in this world know how to play piano on my level. I'm not really stellar at either of them. I'm pretty good. I, like, am decently good, and I'm pretty good at listening by ear at stuff. I won't say I don't have talent, but not talent that would usually skyrocket you to this level, because so many thousands of people have this exact same level as me, and yet I was the one who got really lucky. So I'm gonna do my best to try and work with it.
I think that is a good, wonderful sentiment to have, especially when given these opportunities more than anything else. And you know, ironically enough, that does kind of lead me to the next question I have, because like you said, you've been lucky to get some of these really cool, incredible opportunities. I mean, taking a step back, even thinking about all the opportunities you've been able to have from as young as you've been able to have, like 2 years old, being able to sing in church, 4 years old, ending up on the radio or whatnot, to here you are right now with this incredible reach that you probably never even imagined of having in the first place. Does it amaze you more or less how much you've been able to progress as an artist?
Yeah. My latest song is called Boogertale.
Yep.
It's the third boogercore song. But if you look at the production quality of boogercore, gosh, what a sentence. If you look at the quality of boogercore, which was my first ever song in FL Studio, and you compare that to the amount I did for Boogertale, it's not as popular, but it's the one I'm most proud of at the moment. I still need to upload that Isopod song. Like
you do.
I have a song.
The Isopod song is a really fun song.
It's really good, and I'm gonna be honest, I haven't uploaded it to Spotify because I keep forgetting. Not because of any reason, because I keep forgetting. I want to cut the beginning part out and release it. One is the full version, and one is the cut version where it just gets to the fun part.
Right.
But I keep just forgetting to do that every day.
Maybe you should write it down somewhere to where you can see it be like, release Isopod song.
Story of my life. Write it down.
Write that down. Write it down. But yeah, like you were saying, like, it's incredible to see how much you've been able to grow as an artist, I guess.
Oh yeah, growing as an artist. That was the song. That was the question. I've gotten better in FL Studio. I'm still not the best, of course. I just started a couple of years ago, and I don't do it often enough to have improved that much. But I started using some samples a little bit. All of boogercore is MIDI.
Right.
It's all MIDI, and I added my samples in Audacity. Because I wasn't comfortable with speeding up and slowing down in FL Studio, and I'm still not quite, but I'm getting better at it.
Right.
I'm trying to practice enough to be a good enough producer that I can produce my own, real songs that aren't, video game music or meme core. I would love to be my own producer on some of the stuff that's like what I've heard.
Yeah. Honestly, that's a good thing to aspire for more than anything else. And I can only imagine, I mean, especially at this point, given the fact that you've only, relatively speaking, seriously taken the music production stuff within the past couple years or so, actually taking the time to actually go in and produce this stuff more so than you would previously. it's got to be only like a matter of time before you get to that point. Like once you get a little bit more practice, like I can only imagine the cool, incredible songs you could potentially come up with, especially given the creativity you've already been able to show in such a short amount of time.
I just need time.
Yeah.
I haven't even gotten to finish Deltarune Chapter 4, even though
Yeah.
that's been, it's been everything I've been thinking about. And I've been spoiled to hell and back, but I still just haven't had the time. I will soon.
Yeah, good. I hope you get that time. I mean, more than anything else. And honestly, let's give you a little bit more time and just a little bit more, if I may, with this next question because, Silly, I want to give you more or less the dream scenario, if I may. Let's say I am Big Shot Mr. Moneybags, as you can see right here. This little guy, give you.
Oh, of course.
Let's say I come up to him like, look, Silly, we have seen what you've been able to produce, and we know that there's something here. We know that there's something incredible that you just need a little extra push, a little extra platform to get you to that point that you may have never been able to before. We have access to everyone and anyone in whatever industry possible, and more money than there should be possible. We probably should be compensating artists such as like animators or whatnot, making sure they have a good living wage or whatnot. Maybe, make sure they can get health insurance, a home to live, all that kind of stuff. We'll focus on them in a little bit. We promise. We promise. We will focus on them in a little bit. But right now, we're focusing on you and you alone. If given this opportunity, what would be the dream Milk in the Microwave project?
I want to make World's Greatest Actor so bad.
Okay.
But I want to make it sound like Villain by Stella Jang with like a piano and bass and kind of like real instruments and bossa, like not quite bossa nova, but like I love swing. I love refined swing. I love big band. I love everything jazz related. If I could get a whole jazz band behind me, saxophones, trumpets, tubas, piano, bass, everything I possibly could. If I could get a big band like My Way, like the World We Knew, Frank Sinatra level band.
Right.
Oh, that would be my dream, to be able to sing for a band like that. Will Wood's production, we're back on him, but goodness gracious, the instruments are so lovely. When it comes to production that I actually like could see myself doing, Axie's production is so fun and lovely and bouncy,
Right.
and it's amazing. I've been able to spend hours with him just like showing me what he does, and he's got hundreds of tracks overlaid in his songs. It's crazy.
Yeah.
How big his project sizes are. Boogercore was like 5 tracks, 6 tracks maybe. And Hey Doctor Doctor was 1 vocal track, 3 harmony tracks, and 1 ukulele track. No drums.
Right. No, trust me, I noticed the no drums on that because it's a very simple song. I think we've established that.
You know why there's no drums? Because I'm terrible at playing in tempo.
I mean,
I am horrible at playing in tempo.
I mean,
like, it sounds like tempo enough to the human ear, but when you're working with the rigidity of a music program, it's almost impossible.
I mean, to be fair, for a song like that, I feel like there wasn't really a need for drums, like, per se.
I know, there wasn't a need. I will say, 10 million streams later, the
song... it did not need drums 10 million. Yeah, 10 million streams can justify not having drums.
It's like, well, maybe I didn't need drums. Maybe they're happy enough, sure. But, like,
Jesus.
The reason I've tried to do stuff like snapping on my tracks, like, I don't know if you've heard my Hidden in the Sand cover.
Yes, I have.
I am you're talking about songs that I'm proud of. I am proud of the extended lyrics for that.
Okay.
And the stuff I added to that one, but if you listen to it too closely, and I'm almost scared to say this because people will start listening to it too closely, you will hear that the rhythms are just ever so off in a way that makes you grind your teeth and gnash a little if you pay too much attention. And you're like, so, this came at, they came at a different time,
You know, you know, sometimes people just don't need to be music critics when listening to songs, you know?
Everyone's a critic.
Yeah, everyone beeth a critic.
But that's why I can't listen to that song, even though I'm such a huge fan of it, because I want to redo that song having it correctly timed.
I mean, there's always there's always a chance, and there's always time to do that. Once you can carve out the time for it. But yeah, no, there's always a chance you can go back and redo that kind of stuff. Just like you could go back and redo like a lot of the songs you've been able to put out there. Like, I'll get to this in a little bit, but like you're definitely at a point right now to where you're like, even though you've had a lot of success, you're still very early in your like music career, to where like people can easily look back on this stuff like years in the future if you keep going down this path and be like, okay, we can see the seeds of what eventually led to the artists we're hearing today. Like,
Yeah.
how many times have people
You asked about. You go.
I was gonna say, like, people look back on so many of the popular artists today, like, looking at like a Tyler or a Kendrick, or they look back on their early stuff and they'd be like, I could see the artist I'm eventually listening to, and they can sort of get where they got from where they were to where they are now.
You asked about my old music and what I made and like what I have, projects that I haven't released, and I'm like, oh no, I'm really at the beginning. You guys are seeing the beginning as it's unfolding.
Basically. Yeah, no, and I don't blame you. I don't blame this for being more or less the beginning, because it seems like it's a good step in the right direction more than anything else.
I'd say so.
Yeah. But sadly, we gotta get down from the dream scenario. We have to get back to reality, and I know. And I'll ask the ever so generic question. Where do you hope to see yourself in, say, 5 to 10 years from now?
That's back to dream scenario.
Oh, isn't that? Okay, elaborate.
Like, we're gonna bring ourselves down from the dream scenario to what's your biggest dream in 5 to 10 years? And I'm like, this is the same thing we were just talking about.
Okay.
Dream scenario is that I have enough music. I want to be able to make some nerdcore music for some of the things I like. Like, I'd like to make Deltarune music. I want to make a song for Dandy's World, just because that fandom has millions of people in it, and because they're all children, nobody has bothered to make the music for it because they're like, it's something. The poor fandom is like animating AI music. It's that dire.
That's
I
bad.
really want to make something just because I want to feed a fandom that is starving a little.
Absolutely.
Just because it's such a popular thing that's been ignored. It's like almost a Digital Circus in like shared fan bases, and yet Digital Circus has so much more.
They have a lot. They have so much. My God.
I want to make Digital Circus music. I want to make Deltarune music. I want to make music for the things I like, and I also want to make my own music. Now being able to talk to like nerdcore artists, being a musician who's kind of like found myself in that place with my own original music is like, hello. Nerdcore artists are like, I want to stop making nerdcore. I want to make my own original music so bad. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I could sort of understand, like, especially what you're talking about. What was it? I had Jake Neutron on the podcast not too long ago, and like,
love that guy.
Yeah, I know, he's like fantastic person. One of my favorite songs from them is not even a nerdcore song. It's "Are We a Thing?" Like, I love that song so much.
Yes.
It's such a great song. And it's not even a nerdcore song. So like, if that's what nerdcore artists can come up with, if they're not doing nerdcore, like, I can only imagine for you, like, if you really wanted to make nerdcore, how incredible and like how fun and possibly bombastic, or possibly how soft and somber it can be.
I want to find a producer to work with. This is my call out. This is my shout out. I want to find a really good producer because I'm really good at chords and lyrics and just funky little notes. If people have been able to like my music just having it on ukulele and piano thus far, can you imagine what would happen if it was properly produced?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I can't even imagine. That's my dream. I want to release music that is properly produced with like real production that takes longer than a day or two put into them. Like production that takes weeks, months to make a product that is really, really good.
I've got a couple producers I think I can introduce you to if you're really looking for someone, because I know that the big two that I'm thinking of is John Dawes and Sean Poole. Both of them are fantastic people that I've had on the podcast. They do a wide range of music in one form or fashion, but they've also produced like some stuff for like other people or whatnot. I know John Dawes alone does a lot of. He's produced a good handful of covers for my friend Tipsy, when she does it as well, but also has done like some original stuff. But like. I'll definitely introduce you to them well after we get done recording. They're really cool. But no, like, and if there's any other producers out there that wants to have an opportunity to help produce some stuff, there's your call out. I guess, voice it out on Twitter or TikTok or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure out the communication at a later point.
Yes. My dream in 5 to 10 years, I work a 9 to 5 right now. I worked for 10 years doing nothing but cyber so that I could have a stable job that will always have positions available that I would be qualified to fill. And I picked that career because it was the smart choice. But I don't know much about it, and I will do it for the rest of my life if I have to. But I have made a promise to myself that if I make $1 million off of music, then I can quit my job. That is a lofty enough goal that it won't have me quitting my job instantly. I'm like, I got a little famous, I'm going to go, and then I fall off, and it's like, well, I'm homeless now.
Yep.
So if it's a lofty goal that might never come true, so I might work cyber, and it's a great salary. It's great salary, great thing. If I make $1 million, I'll quit my job and I'll devote myself entirely to music. And I want to be able to go on tour. I want to be able to have concerts and like sing and be a guest places. And I want to, like, a lot of people in my life have had those experiences. Like, my boyfriend has had those experiences. I never have.
Okay.
I never have, and I really, really want to, because I've heard stories from people very close to me, and it sounds so cool. And I want to be able to do this as a full-time thing. That is my goal. That is my dream.
You don't know how badly I'm rooting for you to get that opportunity, because goddamn, you deserve it. You really do. Go on.
Yeah. I want to do this as a full-time thing because I like creating and I like putting my stuff out there and I like making stuff that I can be proud of. Like, you asked about my favorite TikToks that I've made earlier. I really liked when I had this animation meme war with my friend James. We made IRL animation memes, and I sunk hours and hours into them.
Yep.
Those are some of my favorite TikToks I've ever made because they're just so absurdly high production for no reason other than it was fun.
Yeah.
I like the stuff I've made that's highly edited, that I just made for fun, that other people happen to like too.
Well, there you go. Look, I cannot tell you how fun it looks to have some of those like TikToks that you were talking about, especially like the IRL animation memes or whatnot. Because especially wasn't there one where it was either you or your brother dressed up in an inflatable Garfield cat?
It's me.
That's you. Okay, just doing that.
Unless I've been in the exact same room as that. Like, if it's a video, there's one video after the Garfield movie where he wore it, but every other time it was me.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, no, exactly. And there's a reason why it was a lot of fun to see stuff like that, because you could tell you were just like especially with how much you put into the editing or whatnot. It just looked like a fun video. It just looked silly and ridiculous. Like, because why not? It's fun.
I love putting like 5, 7, 10, 15 hours into something that ends up being like a couple minutes long. But if that thing takes longer than one day to complete, I never finish it.
Yep.
I never finish
it. I cannot tell you how much I relate to that, because it's like I want to work on it, but like you're in that zone and you want to work on it as much as you can, and then it gets to the point where like, all right, I'm tired. I need to rest. Like maybe get back to this in the morning, and then you never get back to it.
That's why I have so many unfinished things out. That's why it's like I've gotten busy and it took me longer than a day to do them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can't tell you the amount. There's a video in my there's a raw video that I have on my hard drive of me and my buddies, uh, me and a friend. So context, I'm a wrestling fan, like WWE style, like all that kind of stuff. Like,
My roommate is too.
oh, there you go. That's awesome. But there was a time where me and a friend of mine that found the podcast, guy's name is Bill Callis. We took a couple of our other friends that are not wrestling fans, got them in the call, and just showed them a bunch of pictures of wrestlers and just be like, "What's this wrestler's name? What's this wrestler's name?" And they come up with like ridiculous stuff, like
Yeah.
like the
Oh.
green. And I've done that. I have it recorded. I just haven't taken the time to take that video and edit it down or whatnot, because I know it's gonna take a good bit of time to edit. But like, I know with how long it's gonna take, I'm gonna get into an editing zone. I'm gonna be like, okay, I got this. All right, I'm getting tired. Let me call it a day, and then it's gonna sit in my my hard drive for like another 6 months before I even touch it. So I get that mentality.
I finished the lyrics for Hey Doctor Doctor Extended, and I'm working with Oreo on it, but her life has not been the best lately, and mine blew up in terms of how busy it is.
Right.
And so I use those all as like reasons for why, and they're valid reasons,
Yeah.
but I've had days where I've had some time free where if I really wanted to, I could work on it, but I watch stuff instead and consume
Yep.
because I'm tired.
Yep.
I'm really tired.
Yep. It's a mentality. It's a vibe. It's a mood. We all have those days. As we start to wind down the interview, I just have one last question I want to ask you. Obviously, at this point, you are deeply entrenched in art in one form or fashion. There is nothing that's going to drag you away from this, no matter how hard they try.
Oh, I've always been creative. You cannot drag the creativity out of me. I was so creative from such a small age that I passed the gifted exam in kindergarten. I
Yep.
was one of 5 kids who, in the early 2000s, like got through that gifted exam in kindergarten when the standards were still really, really, really high.
Yep.
And I would go with those 5 children and we would learn negative numbers via frogs.
Yep. I'll say I was in the gifted program as well. I remember we used to have, what was it, like we would learn how to do typing or whatnot with like this program that was like a skateboarding thing or whatnot. I still don't know how to type properly. I still did the hunt and peck because or anything.
Me too. I've never typed properly. I've never written properly. And everything I've always done has always been a little bit strange and not the normal way of doing things. Like, the way I hold a pencil, it's like this.
No, okay, that's fair. I get that. I mean, I
Nobody does. Nobody gets it. You don't have to pretend
No.
you do.
I can understand how that works or whatnot. Again, I'm like the standard way, obviously, but like I get it. I'm not. When I be like, oh my god, that's the weirdest thing about you, the way you hold a pencil. Like, no, what the. That's not the
I
weirdest.
write
thing
with my pinky. It's not. It's not good.
I would say that's not the weirdest thing about you. Anyways,
You're fair. All right. Sure.
But anyways, like I said, obviously you're deeply interested in art at this point. There's nothing that's going to drag you away from it. How important is art, not just for you, but for the world as a whole?
Art for the world as a whole, I hope I've made it ever so clear in this video that I love human creativity in every fashion. I love animation, I love music, I love everything that has to do with human creativity. I love writing, I love everything that is creative. I love seeing humans just having fun and making things because it comes to their mind. Creativity is so important for the world as a whole because there are songs that you will hear that will make the sky seem bluer during the day and the stars shine brighter at night. There are pieces of media that will make you view everyday life so differently. The Magnus Archives is my favorite podcast, and I've never looked at horror as a genre or a media the same ever again because it sorted it into categories that I would have never known about before. And just being able to see creativity and see the world brighter because of it, it's amazing. That's got to be the most generic answer you get on here, that creativity is good for the world, but it is, because a lot of people are trying to suck creativity out of everything. They want to make everything boring and bland and gray, and the sentimentality that adults have to live in a gray little box has gotten ever less popular as the days have gone on, and I'm so grateful for it.
Yes, absolutely. And I will say, it is not the most generic answer that I've ever heard when it comes to that stuff. I'm just gonna bluntly say that is a wonderful answer, and that is a wonderful way to word it, if I do say so myself.
Thank you.
Silly, that is all the questions I have for you today. Obviously, I've showered you with the Lord knows how much praise up to this point, but I'm gonna shower you with a little bit more because it's my podcast. I do what I want. Look, I think I've kind of established at this point that I'm a little bit of a fan of what you're doing.
A little, and I'm shocked.
Yes, well, I mean, like, especially ever since I got to see that animated music video that It's Okay Koi did, really led me to dive more into your music, and it's just something that, like, I personally feel on a certain level, especially when it comes to, obviously, Hello Kitty, Scrapbook, like some of the sentiment in those songs, like I understood that, but also, like, I appreciate the dichotomy when it comes to the silly stuff, because I think you could certainly tell I'm a very interesting person in one form or fashion. I'm not just like a single, like, mentality or a simple layer, like, I appreciate a little bit of variety when it comes to what I'm listening to or whatnot, and your music, obviously what started with Hey Doctor Doctor, but obviously has evolved since then. Like, it's been great, and especially getting the opportunity to learn more about you and what you're able to put out there, and seeing some of the entertaining ways you've been able to really present yourself. It's made me love and appreciate you as an artist, and seeing how far you could potentially go. Getting the chance to sit down with you right now and talking for, I'm pretty sure at this point we've talked for like close to 4 or 5 hours. No, I'm talking about like
in total,
like yeah, just in total, like the hours that we've just spent talking and just enjoying, like, just chatting it up more than anything else. Like, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you more and more, and am just excited to see what's going to be next with you, because I know whatever's going to be next, no matter how long or how short it takes, no matter what kind of headspace that you're in, it's always going to be fun and entertaining, or it's going to be so relatable. And I'm going to love and appreciate it on a personal level that I may not have ever had before. And I feel honored to not just consider you like a great guest, but a great friend at this point, because I really did. I really do appreciate our chat, and I sincerely hope that the people that watch this episode like love it as much as I have, and it makes me excited for whatever's gonna be happening next. Not just for us chatting, because I sincerely hope this is not the only time we get to talk more than anything else.
We've been talking for like 4 hours now, and 2 of those hours weren't even recorded, and so I was about to bring up that this is gonna happen again. You were saying as we wind to the end of this interview, and I'm like, no, there's so much I still want to talk about.
Right.
And I thought, and I'm like, wait, we can do this again.
We can always do this again, because, like, genuinely, like, you're a really cool person, and I cannot wait to just, not even just like for podcast purposes, just to chat with you about whatever random stuff is going on, because you're just that cool of a person, and it makes me excited for what's next, because all the stuff that you talked about, that you've hope to get to, all the opportunities that you want to create for yourself, I sincerely hope you get those and then some. I hope you get every single opportunity, because I know how hard you want to make it a reality, and I know you can do it. And I know, especially with the talent that you have at this point, you can get there, and that's why I'm gonna be rooting for you every single step of the way. So the long and the short of it, thank you for what you do. Keep up the incredible work, and like I said, I'm gonna be rooting for you every single step of the way. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely.
You said that you yourself are an interesting person, and not just for the fact that you made this podcast, I can tell that you're an interesting person, but even at the concert, I mentioned that you stood out to me as just someone with such an infectious energy around you, who is just having so much fun. And I swear everyone at that concert who, like, was able to see you at any point would be able to see like how much fun you were having. And even before I first talked to you, I just thought you were so cool and such I don't know, big teddy bear energy, like so lovable and huggable and approachable.
I love that mentality. Thank you. I'm wearing that with a badge of honor. I got called a teddy bear energy.
Yeah, like people like us, we can let me say that again.
You got that. You got this.
Yeah, people like us, sometimes we can trick ourselves into thinking, oh, people only like me because of the things I wear and the colors I show on my chest to tell me people that I'm interesting. Please, I'm telling you that I'm interesting. Ask me about my interests. No matter how colorful that wall is behind you, your personality is shown to me before I even got to speak a single word to you.
There you go. I appreciate that sincerely.
Yeah, this has been so fun, and I want this to happen, like, multiple times. Not even because it's in a podcast, not for anything, just because it was fun to talk, you know?
Absolutely. I am so glad I met another kindred spirit in this weird, wacky world that we have before us, you know? Now, if people want to see why I have just been absolutely gushing about you why I've been talking with you for well over 4 hours at this point, go ahead and plug yourself for the people at home. Where can people find more about you if they're not already following you as is?
All right, so it's kind of funny. You asked me, hey, what name should I call you before the podcast? And I said, well, Milk in the Microwave, so I go by Milk or Silly. Maybe you should call me Milk. You've called me Silly this whole time. Yeah. My biggest fumble was calling my TikTok terminally Silly because that name was already taken by many people, and yet I like it. I like the name. So even though it's not my music, and even though some people who have seen my TikTok have never heard of my music, I still like the name Terminally Silly. I wish I had thought of it first, but I didn't.
Yeah, well, there's a time and place for it. But if people want to figure out, Terminally Silly, or I'm pretty sure your ad is at Milk in the Microwave, right?
Milk in thy microwave. Because Milk in the Microwave was always taken. I had Milk in the Microwaver for a long time, and then I got banned. Now I can't use it anymore.
Damn.
So, it's Milk in thy microwave at the moment. Unfortunately, I am more active on Twitter than TikTok at the moment, even though I've just started posting on TikTok again, just because I felt like it. But on Twitter, I post semi-frequently, if you can handle Twitter. Yep. Milk in Microwave. Milk in the Microwave on those two platforms. Pretty much, yeah, that's it. Yeah. I have an Instagram page I haven't posted on in months. I'm on YouTube, but I haven't posted in a while. But if you want to see more of me, some of my unreleased music is on SoundCloud, the stuff I wasn't able to upload for copyright purposes. And, yeah, and you can find me on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere you get music. A lot of platforms that I probably can't name.
I'll say, look, if you missed any of the links or whatnot, I'll have them in the description below. I got you covered so that people can scroll down a little bit, see where exactly they can find you or whatnot. Yeah. Continue with more of the fun. Now, normally at this point, I would ask if you have any final words, but there is something we did promise our audience a little earlier that I think we need to get to. Yeah. Just.
I wanted to give something that people can sink their teeth into, and so I'm like, why not release, like, the one thing everybody's talking about and asking for?
There you go.
At least a little version of it.
Yeah, just a little bit. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if I may, here is a rough work-in-progress version of the extended version of Hey Doctor Doctor by Milk in the Microwave.
Let's go. Hey, Doctor, Doctor, could you tell me what's wrong? I know you're very busy, so I won't make this too long. I got a question about the rain, the fog that just won't go away, and something quite absurd that I just learned the other day. I asked my friend a simple question about the rain, but then they went all quiet and looked at me in a funny way. They asked me what I meant, so I described the time I spent avoiding all the puddles, though I still got wet. They said that morning had been a sunny day. I asked the folks around us and they all said the same. I sat confused in my wet socks and shoes. I shrugged and said, that's right, the sky wasn't gray, it was blue. But Doctor, Doctor, it's been so very long since I've last seen the sun. It seems they must just all be wrong. Unless it's me who's been confused, then why my blue sky's been refused and hidden from me by my rainy days. Ooh. Hey doctor, doctor, I feel like I'm insane. There's something wrong inside me and it's picking at my brain. 'Cause every day it's cold and gray, but when I ask they turn away and mutter to themselves before asking, are you okay? A little while ago my friends tried to help me. They held an intervention to bring me back to reality. I took off my wet shoes as they all tried to break the news to me that it's sunny outside, though I refused. They said that people laugh at me in the halls. They think my raincoat's stupid 'cause it's not raining at all. I told them nope, without it I'd get soaked. So they said that they'd come back when I stopped with this silly joke. But doctor, doctor, I swear that it's the truth. They left 'cause I embarrassed them. I don't know what to do, but I don't want to be left alone. But I can't live soaked to the bone. So tell me why my boots are full of rain. I like your raincoat, hey thanks, I like yours too. Why do you wear it? The sky is never blue. Watch for that puddle, that's what I was gonna say. Could it be you also see a rainy day? Hey, what a shocker that I found someone like me who brings their own umbrella every morning when they leave. It's such a huge relief to know you see it too. I'm not alone, so take my hand and we'll both be okay. It don't matter the weather as long as we're together. Come rain or shine, I know you're here to stay.
That was fantastic. Oh my god.
Thank you.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
god. That was so like
there's harmony at the end that I couldn't sing, but like it's two people at the end.
Right.
I like your raincoat. Hey, thanks. I like yours too. Blah 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 blah. It's nice.
I like your raincoat. Hey, I like
hey,
yours
thanks.
too.
I like yours too. Why do you wear it? The sky's never blue. Watch for that puddle. That's what I was gonna say. It's like someone's like, "Hey, watch out for the puddle." It's like nobody else sees the puddle.
Yeah.
Like me. You do too?
Yeah.
Are we literally best friends right now?
I could. Oh my god, I love it. Like the message more than anything else of like, you know, how other people can see what you're going through compared to like other people that are going through the same stuff or whatnot like that. Oh, that's so sweet. That is so wonderful. I can't wait for the opportunity for you to actually.
The issue with making such short songs is that trying to extend them is a nightmare because you're like, what am I going to do next? This was a complete song. What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought to add another person in would be really good because, yeah, that's another person who can have a similar thing. The way I'm going to extend World's Greatest Actor, another thing to bite and nibble on.
There you go.
Ends with the World's Greatest Actor, like, thanking everyone for their patronage and taking their final bow, basically faking their own death because everybody found out who they were. It's going to start the next verse with the world's greatest actor faking their own death, something, like, those are going to be the words.
Yep.
But they're going to do the exact same shindig in another town.
Okay.
They fake their death in the original town, they go to another town, do the whole thing, and they pretty much pretend until someone finds out, and then they, like, pretend they're dead and go elsewhere and start their life over. Like Grunkle Stan.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit like a Grunkle Stan of sorts. Just maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Just like that amazing Grunkle Stan animatic to that song.
Right? Oh, God. I assume that was partially the inspiration for why you're
No, not even the inspiration. The inspiration was me.
Okay,
if
fair
I
enough.
took everything I've done in my life and twisted it to the worst of it.
Okay.
If I were to like take the fact that I've like had multiple people in my life where I've just stolen their personality, I would like the funniest friend I had in middle school, I tried to emulate her. Sans Undertale in 9th grade. I told bone puns in high school, but we don't need to talk about that on this episode.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I've had a history in the past of trying to mimic another person, and so I'm like, what if I took that to the worst possible? What if I pretended I was evil? I was a villain.
Well, I'm glad you're not the villain in this case because, I mean, you've been able to put out such incredible stuff in one form or fashion, so. Do you have any final words before we do sign off?
Any final words? Please don't kill me. I don't want to die yet. Please.
That's a good plea, and don't worry, I will try to protect you as much as I can, though I don't know how the distance would work. Anyways, with that, all I've left to say is for the people at home, if you can, please pay your artists.
And if you've watched this far, why?
Yeah, why? Genuinely, why? And why have you gotten to this point and not followed Milk in the Microwave on so many different platforms? Like, for God's sakes, come on.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If this is your first time listening, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Sincerely. As you probably heard throughout the conversation, me and Milk just had like a blast of a conversation. I was having fun with it. And there were, even after we got the recording, there was like so many things like, oh, we forgot to talk about this, or we should have talked about this, or we need to talk about this, and like, I'm letting y'all know right now, next opportunity I get, I'm probably gonna bring her back on the podcast, because she's just that cool of a guest. And Milk, if you've gotten up to this point, thank you sincerely for taking the time to do this. Like, I know with the chaos like we talked about, it's good to know that you're able to make a little bit of time and for us to have a wonderful chat, sincerely. You know, throughout the run of this podcast, I have made several different types of relationships with all the guests. There are some that I'm good acquaintances with. There are some that I've become really good friends with. But there's a good few of them that I feel like, at the end of the day, we're kindred spirits. Ones that I know that they have my back just like I have their back. Ones that I can instantly vibe with the instant I'm in a call with them. Whether it be hours apart or whether it be months before I even talk with them again. It's just ones that you know the instant you're having a conversation with them. It's one that you're going to... It's ones that you know are with good friends. Well, like I said, kindred spirits. Ones that you feel like you've had a million times over, no matter how rarely you've had this conversation. Today's conversation was a good example of that. I don't know what it was about talking with Milk, but like I felt like it was just two friends that haven't seen each other in ages, catching up and seeing how we're doing at the end of the day. That's why I'm excited for whatever next opportunity I get to talk with them. For those that, you know, I consider kindred spirits, or people that I still talk with as much as I can. People within like the Yin's Bin, or people within some of the VTuber community stuff, like Sasha. There's a lot of incredible people that I've gotten so lucky to meet, and today's conversation just reminds me how lucky I am. Because I get to have conversations like this. I get to know so many incredible people, and I rarely take that for granted. There are so many people out there that are so closeted in their thoughts, or they're so closeted with who they open up to, or don't have the ability to open up to so many different people. And the fact that I get to know and vibe with so many different people, it just, I'm never, ever going to take it for granted. For as long as I'm doing this podcast, and even after this podcast, if this podcast ends, it just makes me feel lucky to be able to not only have this platform, but have this community. Because I sincerely hope that you guys felt the same vibe that I did when listening to today's conversation. I hope you guys got to really know and connect with Milk that you may have never been able to beforehand. And I sincerely hope you guys are excited for whatever's going to be happening next, whether it be with Milk or whether it be with this podcast. Either way, go out there and show that same kind of love to those that you consider your kindred spirits. Make sure you let them tell them, even if you haven't talked to them in a while, just pop in a quick message. Say, hey, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing okay. I'm sure they'd appreciate it.